Okay, my name is Hiro. I'm a project scientist in Coastal Processes Group at Scripps Institute for Oceanography, and also I am studying beach cobbles in San Diego. So the motivation of this research is that we know there are tons of cobbles in San Diego beaches, but we still do not know basic stuff such as where they are, how much they are, and also how they interact with beach sand, changing overall beach behaviors. Also, the cobbles are known to possibly stabilize beach changes and may protect back beaches. However, we are still lack of quantitative observations. So today I'm going to briefly talk about what we are doing and also what we have found so far about San Diego cobbles. So our team has been studying cobbles for many years, and I think there are three main unique features that our research has. Firstly, our study is quantitative using high accuracy GPS system and more recently a LiDAR system. Secondly, we have a long record of cobble observations since 2008, so more than 10 years. And lastly, our recent study is high resolution but also large area coverage. This is because we use a mobile LiDAR system, which is basically LiDAR mounted on a truck. And we combine this system with machine learning applied cobble mapping, which allows us to quickly map out cobbles over spatially extended areas. This is one of the examples of our research using ATB and high accuracy GPS system. This system has a recording switch shown in the green box here. And while surveying and driving ATV on beaches, we flip this switch depending on ground type, for example, either sand or cobbles. And by doing that, we have been mapping the locations and elevation of both cobbles and the sand on beaches. And again, we have been doing this since 2008, and over that time period, we had a range of wave conditions, including 2 El Nino winters. So the right bottom plot is showing how cobble coverage changed from 2008 to 2018 at Cardiff and Torrey Pines beaches in San Diego. And we can see that the cobble coverage was considerably high during the 2 El Nino winters. This is an example of mobile LiDAR and machine learning applied research. We have conducted weekly mobile LiDAR surveys at Torrey Pines Beach and found megacusps, which is basically a large topographic beach feature with alternating elevation high and low along shore. So if you draw an elevation contour, the line becomes wiggle, as you can see in the bottom left image. What is really interesting about this finding is that cobbles often cluster in topographic low, and the locations of topographic high and low are not fixed spatially and temporally. For example, the figures here show beach elevation on February and April 2019 in gray, mapped cobble in magenta, also elevation contours in blue. And you can see from the bottom figure that cobbles were often clustered in topographic low, and from both top and bottom plot, the elevation high and low were sort of shifted a couple hundred meters along shore. These results are really interesting, I think, because both large-scale topographic features and the preferential clustering of cobbles are possibly influential to wave runup and therefore coastal flooding. We also have been conducting seasonal mobile LiDAR surveys along the whole northern San Diego County beaches spanning 40 km longshore. What is great about this study is that cobble exposure considerably varies between study beaches, from very little cobble exposure to seasonal and intermittent cobble exposure in Torrey Pines, and really high, almost semi-permanent cobble exposure in South Carlsbad, shown in the bottom left photos. And with these variations, we can actually compare seasonal profile changes between beaches with different cobble exposure settings. For example, the figures here show that crusher profiles were gentler in Torrey Pines, which has seasonal and intermittent cobble exposure in general, whereas South Carlsbad with high cobble exposure had steep backshore profiles and also less seasonal backshore profile changes. I think this is all I have, and thanks for listening.